Everyone, Velma Garnes here, also known as the Velminator, your permanent results coach. This is episode 48 of 365 episodes. And as promised, I'm going to show you some examples of some journaling that maybe you can choose to express yourself. So one of the things that I'm going to start with, this is actually fairly old, and this kind of brought me back to when I was actually starting to try to cut out pictures and stuff. Now I think Pinterest probably serves the best. Hey, Will, I'm waving at you. Pinterest probably serves the best ideal for me right now because you don't have to cut out pieces of paper. And this is when I had like lots of subscriptions. So I just came up with a bunch of different categories. Like for me, this is like how I wanted to live, which was like really organized. I'm almost there, but I think I have like a hell of a lot more ways to go to kind of get there. But it was helping me to sit down and look through pictures of what I wanted to do. But now Pinterest sort of serves that purpose for me right now. So this is just all of the things that I really wanted to have organized. And this, of course, was physically where I wanted to go. So I would cut out all these pictures, and there's actually a picture of me in there. I forgot that was there. That's so funny. There's a couple of them in here. So this was one way I tried to keep myself motivated. This is a type of journaling. There's also something called art journaling. I'm trying to get my art journaling friends to try to come and do a live session with me. I might have 2 people that are going to be able to do that. So that's one way of doing it. This is time consuming though. I'm not lie about that. Like this takes a lot of time to sit down and do that. Then there is what I call bullet journaling, also known as Bujo. But this is what I would do with bullet journaling. Like I would take a different subject, like what outcome I wanted to get to, like losing weight, or trying to track my health, or spiritual or mental development. Like I would break everything down to different categories, and then I tried to figure out what would I need to do like every single day, and then write those things down every single day. And then I'd break those down into steps to be like, well, okay, what do those actions entail? And then I'd make like a 30-day plan, and then I would tick off everything. And this is time, everything's time consuming. It just depends on how you want to spend your time. But every single month, if it wasn't working for me, like if I wasn't keeping up with any of this, then I would go back and change it and be like, okay, well, me tracking every day, like my gratitude journal, did I do my devotional, or like my regular journal, did I do any of that crap? Was it helping me to tick it off? A lot of times it would make me feel good to actually sit down and tick stuff off, but it was easier for me to create. And you don't have to be artistic. I'll show you an artistic journal here in a second, but for me, just the writing and just providing space for me to write down what are the goals that I wanted to accomplish. So I would give myself 90 days. And if it wasn't changing in 2 weeks, or if I wasn't keeping up with it, then I'd try to go back and be like, okay, well, this is not working. I'm not keeping track of this. Let me go back and try something different. Like this was a money saving plan here for me. Like each box represents how much I was going to be willing to put into the bank to be able to save like a total amount. And you just have a total amount at the very end and be like, okay, well, this is how much this is gonna take for me to actually deposit. This is how much I'm gonna deposit after 1 week, and then all these weeks are gonna add up into, after a month, this is how much is gonna be in my bank account after a month. So whatever it is you want to keep track with. This is like books, keeping track of the books that I wanted. So, and you see, I'm just drawing straight lines. It's not like I'm artistic at all. And there's like, this is a dotted journal, so there's tiny dots in here. Maybe you can see them, maybe you can't. I don't know. But you can try lines, you can try dots, you can try whatever it is that might work for you. So I tried bullet journaling for some time. It's probably the only thing that I kept up for a really long time. And I have to go back and redo my next 3 months, starting with April, because we're in a new quarter right now. This is my Bible journal. I actually still keep up with this one. Well, what I would do is I would separate everything into different subjects. And it was hard for me to keep everything in one binder, so I'm okay with keeping everything in separate binders. You might find something different that maybe you might find works for you. I'm trying to find over. So I would just separate things into different subjects, and then I would go and research those subjects, and then write down those passages for that subject that I was researching. I use different color inks to keep myself interested. I always tend to do that. This is actually my son's journal. They drew a lot, so they were very much more artistic than I was. And so they would draw stuff, and every now and again they'd stop and they would write something, and it was usually related to whatever they were experiencing through the day. But there's tons of these that they would just leave here around the house, and I always find it interesting to go back through. But they were the artistic type kids. And of course, my son would probably kill me if he knew I was showing this to people, because this is like when he was just experimenting with things. And he still does this to this day. I was observing that when I was there visiting him. So he's a little bit of passages here. He writes some stuff down. So there's so many different ways to express yourself and try and do different things. It just depends on what it is that you're willing to commit to. And I think that's probably the most important thing, is whatever it is that you're willing to sit down and commit to. This is just one last example. I think I've been rambling on up. Thanks, Will, if you're still here. This was me exploring. I can't remember what I was exploring, but I broke down my life into separate things like vocation, spirituality, physical, and I was just willing to try out different. There's no lines in this. It might be the most subtle things that keeps you coming back to trying to do it, but you see how well I kept up with this after a while. So it's really whatever it is you're willing to invest and put your time into that might end up making a huge difference. But like I keep saying, don't take my word for it. Try different things out for yourself and see what you land on that might help you the best. And but you have to keep exploring. There's no way to try and move forward. If your life is certainly worth recording, and if you keep recording things that really don't have much meaning, like the food that you eat, just different things like that, unless you're willing to go a little bit deeper, you're not really going to see much of a result about anything. And so most of us work from the outside in because we keep thinking our environment, everything outside of us, is what's going to affect us the most on the inside. But it's really the inside excavation that you have to start getting some sort of result from, or exploring those things before you'll start to actually see some sort of result. It's those things that are closest to your heart that you're willing to actually sit down and look that's going to make the hugest difference. So that's it. Well, thank you if you're still here, man. Everyone else, if you are watching the replay, I really do appreciate you. If you are on my Facebook fan page, make sure you press on the button, because I have lots of journal prompts that'll help you to be able to start exploring things. I left and if you're on Instagram, then it's going to be in the link in my bio that only you can say on Instagram. So I'm off to teach some classes, guys, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, Will. Have a good day. Bye, everyone. Bye!